Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 2,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
What happens when you sign a former NFL MVP quarterback for league minimum, have a top 10 draft pick trying to prove himself, and the entire league starts circling like sharks? Welcome to the absolute madness that is the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation right now. And folks, this story has more twists than a pretzel factory. Let's set the scene. The Minnesota Vikings just pulled off what might be the heist of the century in terms of salary cap management. They signed Kyler Murray, an actual starting caliber NFL quarterback, for essentially pocket change. League minimum, people. Do you understand how insane that is? This is like getting a Ferrari for the price of a Honda Civic. The Vikings are rebuilding their salary cap situation, and they just landed a quarterback who was the #1 overall pick just a few years ago, a guy who won Offensive Rookie of the Year, a guy who led the Cardinals to the playoffs. And they got him for what amounts to chump change in NFL terms, absolute cheat code unlocked. But here's where things get spicy, and I mean jalapeno-level spicy. The Vikings already have a quarterback. His name is J.J. McCarthy, and he was the #10 overall pick in the 2024 draft, the highest drafted quarterback in Vikings history. So you've got this kid, this golden boy out of Michigan with the lettuce flowing and the championship pedigree, sitting there watching the team sign someone who is supposed to be his competition. And what does J.J. do? Oh man, what does he do? 18 minutes after the official word drops that Kyler Murray is a Viking, J.J. McCarthy fires up Instagram and posts this campaign for Alo, that athletic wear brand, and he's out there looking like a hockey player with that flow, showing off the merchandise, living his best influencer life. Now look, I get it. His brand manager probably had this scheduled for weeks. The content calendar was locked in, the photos were already edited. But the timing is absolutely brutal. You cannot write this stuff better if you tried. Think about it from the Vikings' perspective for a second. They just signed competition for their first-round quarterback, and within minutes, that quarterback is posting glamour shots on social media. The optics are rough. The narrative practically writes itself. Here's this kid who's supposed to be hungry, supposed to be battling for the starting job. And he's out here modeling activewear while his new competition is probably in the film room. I'm not saying it's fair, but in the court of public opinion, it doesn't look great. And the questions around J.J. McCarthy's maturity? Those aren't new. People have been whispering about whether he has what it takes to be a franchise quarterback long-term. He looked good at times last year, sure, but he also looked bad at times. Injuries derailed his rookie season and continued to plague him into year 2. He's basically still a rookie in terms of actual playing experience. And now, with Kyler Murray in the building, those maturity questions are getting louder. Can he handle the pressure? Can he handle the competition? Can he handle being the guy when the lights are brightest? But wait, it gets even crazier. Because the moment the Vikings signed Kyler Murray, the trade rumors started flying faster than a Randy Moss deep ball. According to NFL insiders, the Browns, Chargers, and Rams have all reportedly called the Vikings about J.J. McCarthy. Let that sink in. 3 teams are already sniffing around, trying to pry this kid away from Minnesota before Kyler has even thrown his first pass in purple. The Browns? Of course it's the Browns. That organization is a quarterback carousel that never stops spinning. But here's the thing. Would J.J. McCarthy even be accepted in Ohio? Remember when Braylon Edwards, that incredible receiver from Michigan, got drafted by the Browns and the fans absolutely despised him because of the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry? That same energy would absolutely come for J.J. McCarthy. Browns fans would be torn between wanting a good quarterback and hating the fact that he wore that winged helmet in Ann Arbor. That situation would be messier than a Cleveland winter. Then you've got the Chargers, which actually makes some sense. Jim Harbaugh just took over as head coach in Los Angeles, and guess who coached J.J. McCarthy at Michigan? That's right, Jim Harbaugh, reuniting with his college coach, backing up Justin Herbert for a year or two, learning the ropes in a stable organization. That could actually work. J.J. knows Harbaugh's system. Harbaugh knows how to develop quarterbacks. It's a natural fit, even if it means McCarthy starts his career as a backup. And finally, the Rams. Now this is interesting because the Rams are still desperately searching for the successor to Matthew Stafford. They initially had some buzz about potentially signing Kyler Murray for that exact purpose, but obviously that ship has sailed since he went to Minnesota. But the Rams could be fantastic for J.J. McCarthy, sitting behind Stafford for a year, working with Sean McVay, one of the most creative offensive minds in football, fixing his mechanics, learning the nuances of NFL defenses. That would be development paradise. And let's be honest, Sean McVay fixing J.J. McCarthy would be the ultimate middle finger to Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings. The drama potential is off the charts. Now, ESPN analyst Louis Riddick dropped an absolute bomb take that has the internet going crazy. He said it's over for J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota. He said the Vikings need to move on from him, that his time there is done. And look, I respect Louis Riddick. His takes are usually pretty solid. But this one is way too hot. It's so hot, it's radioactive. Why would the Vikings move on from J.J. McCarthy right now? Let's break down the logic, or lack thereof. He's got 2 years left on his rookie deal. He has a 5th-year option, though admittedly, that probably won't get picked up. And the trade market for him is lukewarm at best. What exactly are the Vikings getting back in a trade that would make it worth giving up a former top 10 pick who still has legitimate potential? A 4th-round pick? A 5th? That's insulting. The juice is absolutely not worth the squeeze in that scenario. I can just picture J.J. McCarthy walking into Kevin O'Connell's office, throwing his helmet on the desk and demanding a trade, and Kevin just laughs and says no. Because why would the Vikings accommodate that? What leverage does McCarthy have? He's under contract. He's cost-controlled, and giving him away for peanuts would be one of the dumbest moves in franchise history, right up there with some of their other legendary blunders. Here's the thing about the modern NFL media cycle. It's all about, what have you done for me lately? Hot takes rule the day. One bad game, and you're a bust. One good game, and you're the next Hall of Famer. It's exhausting. But in this case, I think Riddick is fundamentally wrong because the Vikings can just sit on J.J. McCarthy. They don't have to do anything. He's under contract for 2 more years, and Kyler Murray is only under contract for 1. And here's the kicker. The Vikings cannot franchise tag Kyler after this season. So after 2026, the Vikings either let Kyler walk or they sign him to a long-term deal. That's it. Those are the only 2 options. Which means there's a very real possibility that Kyler Murray pulls a Sam Darnold. He comes to Minnesota, has a solid season, rejuvenates his career, and then bounces to another team where he becomes a star. Vikings fans have seen this movie before, and it's painful every single time. Can Minnesota fans handle watching another quarterback succeed after leaving? That's a legitimate question that keeps them up at night. But let's talk about why Kyler Murray in Minnesota could be absolutely special. This guy has dealt with injuries 2 of the last 3 years, and that's definitely taken some shine off his career. But I genuinely believe that a lot of his dysfunction in Arizona was about the Cardinals organization, not about him. The video game controversy? Massively overblown. The guy likes to play games in his downtime. Who cares? Tom Brady probably plays Sudoku. Nobody questions his commitment. Kyler Murray is about to walk into an offensive situation that is light years better than anything he had in Arizona. He gets to throw to Justin Jefferson, one of the top 3 receivers in the entire NFL. He gets to work behind an offensive line that has been rebuilt and is actually functional now. And his mobility, even though he's not quite as explosive as he used to be after the injuries, is still going to help that offensive line tremendously. Defenses have to account for his legs. They have to respect the threat of him scrambling. That opens up everything else. And let's not forget what Kyler's mobility does for the running game. You can run read option. You can run RPOs. You can keep defenses guessing on every single snap. Coordinators are going to have nightmares trying to scheme against this offense. Put Kyler Murray together with Justin Jefferson, a competent running game, and Kevin O'Connell calling plays, and you've got the recipe for a legitimate playoff contender. This could be scary good. Meanwhile, J.J. McCarthy is sitting at 23 years old, 6-4 as a starter in his limited action. He's been derailed by injuries, absolutely, but he's still young, he's still developing. And the quarterback draft class coming up next year is not exactly loaded with can't-miss prospects, so the trade market for McCarthy is probably even softer than people think. Why would a team give up significant draft capital for a guy who's been injured when they could just roll the dice on a rookie at a similar price point? The Vikings would be absolutely insane to give up J.J. McCarthy for a fifth-round pick. That would be malpractice. That would be worse than the Sam Darnold situation by a factor of 10. Can you imagine giving away your former first-round pick for essentially nothing and then watching him go to another team and become a Pro Bowler? The fan base would riot. The front office would be run out of town. It would be an all-time disaster. So here's what I think happens. The Vikings are gun-shy about giving away quarterbacks who succeed elsewhere. They've been burned too many times. They're going to play out J.J. McCarthy's rookie deal, see what happens with Kyler Murray this season, and make decisions based on how everything shakes out. Maybe McCarthy is the starter in 2027 if Kyler doesn't re-sign. Maybe Kyler balls out and gets a long-term deal and McCarthy gets traded then for actual value. Maybe Kyler gets hurt and McCarthy has to step in during 2026 and proves he's the guy. There are so many variables in play, but either way, Vikings fans should be thrilled about this situation. They have depth at the most important position in sports. They have competency. They have a former MVP caliber player in Kyler Murray. They have a high draft pick with potential in J.J. McCarthy. They have options. They have flexibility. They have the 3 Ps: potential, performance, and possibilities. That's a good place to be. The bottom line is this: do not trade J.J. McCarthy right now. It makes 0 sense. Let this situation play out. Let Kyler prove what he can do in a good situation. Let McCarthy develop and heal and get ready for his opportunity. Competition breeds excellence. Having 2 capable quarterbacks is not a problem. It's a luxury. Most teams in the NFL would kill for the Vikings quarterback situation right now, even with all the drama and uncertainty. So whether you're Team Kyler, Team JJ, or Team Chaos, buckle up, because this Vikings quarterback situation is going to be one of the most fascinating storylines of the entire season. Between the ALO photoshoot timing, the trade rumors, the redemption arcs, and the questions about the future, this has everything you could want from an NFL soap opera. What do you think? Should the Vikings ride with Kyler and trade JJ? Should they keep both and let it play out? Should JJ's brand manager have delayed that Instagram post? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love this kind of in-depth NFL analysis and drama breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. This quarterback chaos is just getting started, and you're going to want to be here for every twist
everyone,
and turn.
I'm working to hit 2,000
ride.
subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content, please hit that subscribe button right now.